In front of me here, I have the cheapest versions of Apple's newest laptops, starting right here with the MacBook Neo for just $600. In the middle, I have the MacBook Air for $1,100. And on my right here, I have the M5 Pro MacBook Pro for $2,200. In this video, I'm going to stress test each one of these laptops with the exact same applications until they begin to fail so that you can figure out which laptop is right for you. Let's first talk about hardware. Even the cheapest laptop here is still made with a full aluminum chassis. The keyboard feels exactly the same. The only two differences that you might notice is that the cheapest version of this laptop does not come with a Touch ID button. If you pay extra for a few more features, you can get that. And then the touchpad is slightly cheaper as well. The MacBook Air and MacBook Pro have the same haptic touchpad that we've all come to love. It's literally the best in the business. I was worried about the MacBook Neo because they were getting rid of that world-class touchpad and moving to a mechanical touchpad that actually has a physical button that moves. But I gotta tell you, this touchpad feels fantastic. Is it as good as the MacBook Air and MacBook Pro's touchpad? No, but if you're coming from Windows, this is still going to be a huge upgrade. The screens on each one of these laptops looks very similar. When I scroll, I'm getting a little bit of jitter on the Neo. I'm also getting a little bit of jitter on the MacBook Air, and we have perfectly smooth scrolling on the MacBook Pro. I think that's the 120 Hertz ProMotion display. I've got each of these laptops at full brightness now, and surprisingly, I'm not noticing that big of a difference. I think the MacBook Pro is slightly brighter, but I was expecting a huge difference. The Neo still looks very bright. Let's do a quick speaker comparison, starting with the Neo. When it comes to audio, you're getting exactly what you pay for. There's no doubt the MacBook Pro sounds the best. The Air comes in second place. And although the Neo does clearly come in third place, I gotta say, the speakers on this thing still sound quite good. So what I'm going to do now is mute each one of these computers, and I'm just gonna start adding more YouTube videos playing in the background. I am now playing 10 YouTube videos on 10 different tabs on each one of these laptops. The RAM on the Neo is completely filled up. Yet I am feeling no difference on this laptop. Just incredible, incredible result here for a $600 laptop powered with an iPhone processor. Unbelievable. I'm gonna leave these 10 videos running and we'll just start opening other applications here. I now have 10 videos running and every major application open that comes with the computers, and I'm feeling no slowdown at all. I keep waiting for a little hiccup, a little lag on one of these computers. Each one of these computers feels exactly the same so far. All right, so we haven't gotten to the hardcore software tests yet, but I've already seen enough to know for a fact that the Neo is plenty powerful enough for 99% of users out there. Most people who own a laptop write emails. They use a word processor. They open some web tabs. They watch one video at a time. Nobody's watching 10 videos at a time. I currently have 14 applications open and 10 YouTube videos all playing at the exact same time on this laptop, and there is no slowdown whatsoever. All right, I'm gonna leave all of this open and I'm gonna start downloading Adobe software now. We're gonna start in Photoshop here. I have a gigantic 8 gigabyte Photoshop document of a picture of a hummingbird that I took, and then I used AI to upscale it. So let's open each one of these at the exact same time and see how these computers do. Now remember, as this is opening here, I already maxed out the RAM on the Neo just opening 10 YouTube videos. And remember, those are playing in the background right now. These other two laptops have a huge advantage here because they have extra RAM to spare. Surprisingly, the MacBook Air is currently winning. It just opened the file, and we are waiting on the other two laptops. Finally, we have given the Neo more than it can handle. I finally got an error here, and it's saying that it cannot open the file because the scratch disks are full. Yes, they are. I'm going to close all of the YouTube videos on each one of these laptops now. I'm gonna see if I can get the Neo to open this gigantic file without Safari open. All right, this is one of the largest Photoshop documents that I have ever created. It's a little laggy on the Neo. It feels a little bit smoother on the MacBook Air. And on the Pro here, it feels fantastic. I can move around this image perfectly. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this on camera, but there's just this little lag when I'm trying to drag this image around. And again, this is larger than any normal file somebody would have in Photoshop. It's 8 gigs in size. Yeah, MacBook Air feels a little bit better. MacBook Pro feels perfect, and that 120 hertz display looks amazing. So I'm now trying to put a lens blur filter on each one of these. So now we're definitely starting to see the bottleneck of the Neo here. This is a gigantic file, and I am forcing it to do a lot of processing on one of the largest files I've ever created. It finally finished, but that was a noticeable difference between the Neo and the Air and the Pro. All right, I'm gonna leave the Hummingbird open as long as I can, and we're gonna open up Adobe Lightroom. All right, finally, the Neo has finished. This test, once again, is totally confusing me. The MacBook Air was the winner in loading these 4,000 files. MacBook Pro came in second, and Neo came in third. I have no idea why the Pro's not winning these tests, but let's do another one. All right, I am going to export 500 raw files as JPEGs to the desktop in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, that test just finished up. Once again, I am totally confused here. The MacBook Air won, the MacBook Pro came in second, and the Neo came in third. Future Editor Lee here, and I've been wondering how is it possible the MacBook Pro was losing some of these initial tests. And I didn't make this clear in the video, but I was accessing all of the files with each one of those laptops wirelessly from a server that I have here in my office, but it was all being done wirelessly. And there's a chance that the MacBook Pro had not yet finished downloading all of the syncing data that it needs to when you buy a new MacBook. So it's downloading photos from my Photos app. It's downloading all of my iMessage information and everything. That may have still been going on in the background. And so it was sharing bandwidth with the syncing of the laptop and then trying to use that same Wi-Fi signal to download and process thousands of raw files. I don't know for a fact that's what was going on, but that's my best guess. And don't worry, because in this final test, I'm going to take all of the working files and copy them to the local SSD on each one of the laptops. For this final test, we're going to be exporting a video in Adobe Premiere. And just so that I can take the wireless connection to my server out of this test, I am going to copy all of the working files onto the desktop of each of these laptops. So let's go ahead and Control V. Command V, Command V. All right, we are finally finding some cracks in the Neo here. I'm getting an error. There is not enough disk space to copy the file. That's wild. So the Neo only comes with 256 gigs of storage, and I actually ran out of space because my iMessage app alone had downloaded 120 gigs of videos and pictures that people had sent me. So I deleted most of that. I closed out of iMessage, and I am now transferring the files from the server over to the desktop. The other issue that I'm running into is that the Neo is almost dead. It has 7% battery left. The Air has 39%, and the Pro has 41%. So to be able to do this final test, I'm gonna need to plug in the Neo. I'm keeping everything else open. So I have 15 different applications open. I have an 8 gigabyte Photoshop document open. I have 4,000 raw files open in Lightroom. And now I'm going to open Adobe Premiere on all three as well. As you can see here, we have pretty smooth scrubbing on the Neo. We've got even smoother scrubbing. This looks perfect on the Air. And perfect scrubbing on the Pro. Let's go ahead and export these projects. All right, and just to see what happens, I'm gonna pull the plug on the Neo. We are at 23% on the Neo, 26 on the Air, and 31 on the MacBook Pro. Let's go ahead and export. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we finally got to see the power of the MacBook Pro's processor here, and the Neo clearly came in last place. That being said, I am absolutely blown away that the Neo was able to export that video at all with 15 applications open in the background and an 8 gigabyte file in Photoshop and 4,000 raw files in Lightroom. It's ridiculous how good this laptop is. I went into this test expecting the Neo to fall apart. I thought this was going to be a great laptop for the average person who wants to surf the web and write an email, but I didn't think it was going to be able to do Photoshop, Lightroom, and Premiere. And not only did it do it, it did them all at the exact same time, which is shocking. Yes, if you spend more, you will get a little bit more with each one of these laptops, but the Neo is so cheap and it's so good. I think it's the best value in computing I've ever tested. And as I say that, I am getting a warning that I have 2% battery on the MacBook Neo. I have 7% battery on the MacBook Air, and I have 18% battery on the MacBook Pro. Guys, thank you for watching. If you happen to be a photographer, check out our free photography contest at fstoppers.com/contest. You can join for free and win thousands of dollars in prizes. And if you happen to be a photographer or videographer and you've been thinking about going pro, check out all of our full-length professional tutorials at fstoppers.com/store.